last instruction, Kate tite nisene sote jagrite basite doni bawe Sambhajana kari hoti. Meditators applies clear comprehension in walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking, speaking, and in keeping silent. This is explained in two commentaries in two different ways. In Abhidhamma, it appears, and also in the Suttas, especially Maha-Satipatthana Sutta, the four foundations of mindfulness. Although the Abhidhamma commentary explains it one way, the Sutta commentary another, they do not necessarily conflict with each other. This is how the Abhidhamma commentary explained: walking, standing, sitting and falling asleep, or sleeping. A meditator walks up and down on a path chosen by him on a shelter place. When he stands, he understands in this way, or he contemplates in this way. My mind and body, which arise at the one end of the place, do not exist at the other end of the place. That is, those at either end of the place vanish before reaching the other end. They just arise and disappear at the beginning of the place. Mind and matter that arise in the middle do not reach either to one end or to the other end of the place. They also arise and disappear at that point. And also mind and matter, nama and rupa, which arise while standing, do not exist into the portions of sitting. Mind and matter, nama and rupa, which arise while sitting, do not exist into the postures of lying down. Contemplating like this, meditator lets his mind fall into bhavanga, fall into life continuum. What means mind fall into bhavanga? That means contemplating like this, he lets sleep come to him. We always advise you not to go to sleep, but let sleep come to you. Don't give up mindfulness and go to sleep. Let sleep come to you while you are mindful of the primary object. Here, you are mindful of your mind and matter, nama and rupa, arising and disappearing. In this way, you let your mind fall into bhavanga. When you wake up, you pick up your meditation again. You should try to be mindful of the first moment of waking. As soon as you wake up, try to be mindful of that moment as waking, waking, or something similar. Yes, in the beginning of our practice, it is very difficult to catch this first moment. But as practice and concentration become stronger, you will be able to catch it. If you are successful, then your day's meditation begins with that moment. If you cannot catch the first moment but become aware after some activities, the day's practice of meditation begins from the moment you remember to be mindful. In walking, standing, sitting, lying down, and right up to sleeping, you have to apply mindfulness. Here the Pali word sote, sleeping, is followed by jagrite, waking. Sleeping is followed by waking. As these words appear in sequence, sote means really going to sleep, not just lying down. However, it is impossible to practice meditation when you are asleep. You can practice only before going to sleep and after waking up. So that is what is meant by the practice of meditation during sleep. The commentary goes on to say that meditator should keep his mindfulness of meditation very clear. Meditator walks up and down, stands, sits, and finally lies down, and practice meditation on that postures as much as you can. Then you should contemplate. This body is not cognizing. The bed is not cognizing. The body doesn't know that it is lying on the bed, and the bed doesn't know that the body is lying on it. The uncognizing body is lying on the uncognizing bed. Contemplating this way, you should let your mind sink into Bhavanga. And on waking, you pick up your meditation again. Though called the applications of clear comprehension while asleep or falling asleep, this also means application of clear comprehension when immediately waking up. So you should go to sleep with mindfulness and try to be mindful of the first waking moment to pick up your meditation. With reference to waking, non-occurrence of consciousness which causes action is called sleeping. And what is waking? Occurrence of consciousness which causes actions is called waking. Actions here means seeing, hearing, doing things, and so on. The meditators who contemplates in this way, who understand in this way, is called one who is applying clear comprehension to waking. Jagrite Samajana Hoti. When there is the non-occurrence of mind causing action, there is no waking. When such a mind causing actions occur, that is waking. In this way you contemplate. When you contemplate like this, you are said to be applying clear comprehension of waking. According to the commentaries, there is another way. Meditator applies clear comprehension of waking. He divides a day into 6 parts, 3 in the daytime and 3 in the night time. You practice for 5 parts and sleeps only for 1 part. So you keep yourself awake almost all the time, sleeping only 4 hours out of 24 hours. It is also called clear comprehension in waking. And Buddha said, Basite Sambhajana Hoti. Speaking is the next activities mentioned. The sound that arises after no sound is known as a dependent material. Material properties are divided into 2 broad categories. The 4 elements, Prithvi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Earth element, water element, heat elements, and air elements. They are called primary material, Mahabhuta. Others, such as sight, sounds, smell, are called dependent material, Upadarupa. The voice or sound wave is a dependent material. And what is speaking? What is Basite? When there is no arising of the dependent material, which is sound, there is no speaking. When there is that dependent material arising, there is speaking. Understanding like this, or contemplating like this, meditator is said to be applying clear comprehension to speaking. In speaking, we must understand that when there is no vocal sound, there is no speaking. When there is voice, there is speaking. When you talk, you must be mindful of the talking. You must not talk about unprofitable things. You must talk only about the things that are conducive to sureness of one's. You must talk about things that are in keeping with the Dhamma. When you speak in this way, you are said to be applying clear comprehension when speaking. Pasite sambhajana kari hoti. Then Buddha continued, Toni Bawe, Sambhajana kari hoti, keeping silent. When there is the occurrence of voice, there is no being silent. And when there is not the occurrence of the dependent material properties, which is voice, then there is silence, Tonibhava. Understanding like this or contemplating like this, meditator is said to be applying clear comprehension when being silent. Or taking any one of the meditation subject and sitting and meditating or entering into second jhana, he is said to be applying clear comprehension of being silent. On emerging from the first jhana, meditator sheds applying thoughts and sustained thoughts, that is vitaka and vichara. Applying thoughts and sustained thoughts, meditator sheds these vitaka and vichara. Taken together, they are called vaji sankhara. That means producer of speech. With your mind free of mental chatter, discursive thinking, a meditator in second jhana will never speak. You are said to be in noble silence. Strictly speaking, noble silence means entering into second jhana. But the commentary said that just practicing your regular meditation is also noble silence. Once our Lord Buddha said to the assembly of monks, Bhikkhus, when you are assembled, you can do any one of two things: a talk on the Dhamma or noble silence. If you have to talk on the Dhamma. If you cannot speak on Dhamma, be silent. Keeping silent by entering into second jhana is also called clear comprehension of being silent. This is the explanation given in the Abhidhamma commentary. The Sutta commentary approached clear comprehension of bodily activities in a different way. It begins with quoting Tipitaka Mahasiva, a well-known elder of the time. He seemed to have been well acquainted with the entire Tipitaka, 3 baskets, which is why He was called Tipitaka Maha-Satipatthana. He said, a person after walking or going back and forth for a long time later on stands and contemplates in this way. Mind and matter that arise at the moment of going up and down cease at that moment. They do not exist into later activities. This is called clear comprehension in going. Here the contemplation is that the mind and matter arising, which you are walking up and down, vanish at that moment and not at any other moment. Then a meditator may be reciting, answering a question, or just reflecting on his or her meditation. In this way, you may have stood for a long time, so you sit down. After sitting down, you contemplate. Mind and matter that arise at the moment of standing vanish then and there. This is clear comprehension in standing. Then there is clear comprehension of sitting. A meditator may be sitting for a long time, reciting and giving a talk or some such things. After getting up, he contemplates in this way. Mind and matter that arise at the time of sitting vanish then and there. This is clear comprehension of sitting. Then a meditator lying down may be reciting, reflecting on meditation or practicing meditation, and he or she goes to sleep. After some time, he gets up and then contemplates. Mind and matter that arise at the time of sleeping vanish then and there. It is called clear comprehension in waking. But there is really clear comprehension of two things, sleeping and waking. While lying down, he recited something or practiced meditation and then went to sleep. Then he got up and recalled in this way. Mind and matter that arose during the time of sleeping vanished then and there. So this is the application of clear comprehension regarding sleeping and waking. Then there is clear comprehension when talking. This voice depends on the lips, on teeth, on the tongue, and on the palate, and also depends on the mind. Depending on these, the voice or sound arises. When you contemplate like this, when speaking, you are said to be applying clear comprehension while speaking. And he may be reciting for a long time, or giving Dhamma talk, or teaching meditation, or answering question. Later on, he becomes silent. then he contemplates like this. Mind and matter, which arose at the time of speaking, vanish then and there. They do not continue into being silent. There is the application of clear comprehension in speaking. Then there is the clear comprehension in keeping silent. A meditator being silent, contemplating on the Dhamma or practicing meditation, later on contemplate like this. Mind and matter, which arose during the time of being silent, vanish then and there. Speaking means arising of that dependent matter, and silence means the non-arising of that dependent matter. The mind and matter which arose at the time of being silent just vanish then and there. They do not exist into the other moments. It is what was taught by the elder Maha-Satipatthana. This explanation contains no mention of clear comprehension of purpose, clear comprehension of suitability, and clear comprehension of domain. Only the clear comprehension of non-delusion is taught here. The commentary said that by clear comprehension, we must also understand mindfulness, because the two go together. Satima Sambhajano, Sambhajano Satima. These two go together. Without mindfulness, there can be no clear comprehension. But although clear comprehension is always accompanied by mindfulness, there can be mindfulness. There can be mindfulness without clear comprehension. We should be aware that they are linked by concentration. Without concentration, clear comprehension cannot arise. Mindfulness develops concentration, and concentration develops clear comprehension, which is knowledge or wisdom. At the beginning of your practice, there may not be clear comprehension. Initially, the yogi must make effort just to be mindful of the present object. You may not see it clearly at first. It can take time to see that there is only mind and matter going on at the moment, with no I or any other entity as agent. But with your development of mindfulness, you will come to see that only two things, Nama and Rupa, psychophysical phenomena, are going on at a given moment, and there is no individual, no person, no doer. If you are familiar with the Maha-Satipatthana Sutta, it discourse on the four foundations of mindfulness, you will have noticed that walking and other bodily activities are mentioned more than once. The second section on postures of the body mentioned Kichantowa Kichamiti Pajanati, walking or going, standing, sitting and lying down. And the third section on Sambazinya Baba, clear comprehension, first refers to going forward and back. Later on, it lists walking, standing, sitting and lying down. The third section on clear comprehension first refers to going forward and going back. Later on, it notes walking, standing, sitting and sleeping. So our practice is according to these two sections on mindfulness with clear comprehension and on postures of the body. As the commentary explained, the activities mentioned can be divided into three categories. Those of long duration, middle duration, and short duration. Whatever the duration, we must be mindful of all of them. We practice mindfulness in order to come to see clearly that there is only two phenomena, two things, Nama and Rupa, going on at a time. And in order to see clearly that over and above Nama Rupa, psychophysical phenomena, there is no soul, no person, no individual, no I. And Maha-Satipatthana Sutta continues. Thus he dwells contemplating the body in the body internally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body externally, or he dwells contemplating the body in the body internally and externally. He dwells contemplating the origination factors in the body, or he dwells contemplating the dissolution factors in the body, or he dwells contemplating the dissolution factors in the body, or he dwells contemplating both origination and dissolution factors in the body. Or his mindfulness is established as there is this body only, and that mindfulness is established to the extent necessary to further knowledge and mindfulness. Independent, he dwells, clinging to nothing in the world. Anisitoja viharati, atikayoti vapanasa, sati pichupatita hoti, anisitoja viharati, nachakinji loke upadiyati. Independent, he dwells, clinging to nothing in the world. How does meditator contemplate the body in the body, internally, externally, and both internally and externally? When you are mindful of the activities going on in your own body, you are practicing body contemplation internally. After seeing the activities in yourself clearly, understanding that they are only elements and there is no person or other entity, you may turn attention to the activities of others. Then you may infer that just as your own activities are only pure phenomena rolling on and on and on without a doer, so maybe those of others. In this way, sometimes you may infer the activities of others from those of yourself. It is practicing body contemplation on the body externally. At times, you may practice it both internally and externally by alternating the awareness of your own activities with the inference of another person's activities. Going back and forth in this way, you are said to be practicing both internally and externally. Practicing in this way, meditator reach the stage of clear comprehension of non-delusion. Then he dwells contemplating the origination factors in the body, or he dwells contemplating both the origination and dissolution factors in the body. This means that while you are being mindful of these activities, you may also see the causes of these activities, the causes of the different portions of the body. And you see that because there is the mind, there is the action. You see the causes of these activities. And if you have knowledge of other Dhamma teaching, that knowledge too can be applied here. Why there is this body? Because there is ignorance. There is avijja, ignorance. There is this body. Why is this body? Why arises this body? Because there is craving, tanha, there is this body. Because there is kama, there is this body. Because there is food that you eat, this body exists. In this way, you may practice meditation on the causes of arising of your body. When there is no such causes, there is no body. You also may contemplate the vanishing of the body through the vanishing of the causes. At times, you may be aware of the causes of both arising and dissolution. According to late most venerable Maha-Satipatthana, it is sufficient just to see the arising and the disappearing, or the arising and disappearing of the body. It is sufficient just to see. For this is what is meant by contemplating the origination, the dissolution, and the origination and dissolution of the body. In practice, this direct approach is more appropriate. To see the causes while you are concentrating on the activities of your body is more difficult than to see just their arising and vanishing. When your mindfulness is fully applied to these activities, you cannot fail to see them arise and disappear. Seeing the arising is the same as contemplating the origination in the body. Seeing the disappearing is the same as contemplating the dissolution. And seeing both arising and disappearing is the same as contemplating both the origination and dissolution. So this approach of direct observation of the rise and fall of phenomena shows that this practice is vipassana. This practice is not samatha. Only vipassana do you see the arising and disappearing of nama-rupa. Samatha meditation does not encourage seeing arising and vanishing. Samatha meditation encourages the notion of permanency. And Maha-Satipatthana Sutta continue. All his mindfulness is established as there is the body only, and that mindfulness is established to the extent necessary to further knowledge and mindfulness. When meditator sees in this way and sees nothing over and above this body, then the understanding comes to you that there is the body only. There is no person, there is no man, there is no woman, there is no I, there is no soul, or any other such entity. This understanding, accompanied by mindfulness, strengthens the succeeding moment of mindfulness and understanding. And when meditators understand this way, he or she does not cling to anything, he or she not dependent on anything by way of grasping attachment or by way of wrong view. Independent, you dwell, clinging to nothing in the world. And then at the end, thus a meditator dwells contemplating the body in the body. So we will continue next time. We have to stop our discourse for today. By applying clear comprehension to all activities, By practicing Satipatthana Vipassana meditation, by noting rising, falling, seeing, hearing, stretching, bending, seeing, hearing continuously and meticulously, may all meditators be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So,